Everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are going to be reviewing a gold tracer. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do feel free to like and subscribe. That helps me out, lets me keep doing this, all that good stuff. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, and down there you can see what my coaching rates look like, you can see when I'm streaming, you can see, connect with other people. There's actually a recruit a friend special going on right now. Get 25% off a session for both you and them. Anyway, some good stuff. So we're taking the flank. Fine. You can't get punished for that triple flank. No problem. I can live with this. Are you going to go in for this or no? Your team is effectively forced in here. Are you going to go for the Mercy or are you going to farm the Hog? Okay. He was still reloading. You were actually still safe. You can't really force these guys. All you can do is tie this up. You're not going to get in a limb here, and I don't think you have the blinks to stay in. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So now you're going to recall, and it's going to put you right back here. And because you used your last blink and it puts you here, it didn't really help you very much, and you can't really get out. This tracer should hunt you to the ends of the earth. But she won't. That's okay. Why are you going back in? You do not have the resources. As Tracer, you do not have very much health. That's a thing. In exchange for not having very much health, you have hyper mobility. But your mobility is tied to these resources right here. So you want to be extra special careful about using this last one here, because it means you got nothing other than recall, which you also don't have right now. So if you have no blinks and recall, you can't be going in. If you have one blink, no recall, you can't really be going in. Like, you can't actually go in. You can maybe poke a little bit at the edges, but you can't be going in. And you also wouldn't want to be going in from this direction in general. Like, you're looking at this and going, hey, I'm low on resources. This isn't a let me use my only blink to go in and do work. This is a, you know what, I should take this time to go around and properly flank anyways. And by the time I get here, I'll have 2 blinks and recall, even if I use 1 blink to get here. And then I can turn them around, do more work from the side, get to use most of my clip, or at least part of my clip before they react, all that good stuff. So use this better, don't just keep going in with 1 clip.
Much better.
It's fine. Farming the Winston is totally legit. Good aim. We can live with him. You guys maintained control the whole time.
Back guys, heads up.
Okay. Are we walking down main? Yeah, I don't like this. Good, better. So, what are you going to do here? Are you going to go in on the Hog, the Soldier? Are you going to slip right past the Soldier to get on the Yenna? Because if you go after the Soldier, he's just going to get tunnel healed. Just going to get tunnel healed. Now, if your plan was just to distract these guys, that's potentially okay, but I don't think you've distracted these guys for long enough for what you were doing here. Like, you're distracting both supports and the soldiers, so that's got some value, but look for what a small period of time you're able to do so with the resources you have. This is better. And it did work out. Being that distraction can be critical. Nice. Nope, you can't push that. Good. Yeah, I mean, you're trying, but she's just going to fend you out. That's okay. You can fight her a little bit from here. Make sure you're fighting in line of sight of your team because you're effectively battling for space. You're not going to be able to force the elimination past her onto her mercy, but you can do the, fight her. Don't let her control the flank. You control the flank. Sort of battle for superiority type thing. She's probably going to win, but you can lose slowly. And the reason she's probably going to win is her support is right here. Good. Okay. Good health back to Nile. Some stuff and when your reloads were, when your blinks were, etc. But you got the health back, and that was the biggest, most key thing, which ultimately leads you to winning the duel. Though obviously the Sigma lift, had as much to do with it. So I don't love that you're just shooting these guys from the same direction. Remember, this Anna is like, hey, I can try and nade both of you and myself if you're in this direction. Whereas if we relook at this, we can rewind just ever so slightly. You only have one blink. That's unfortunate. Oh.
Enemy contact.
When was this? Did I go forward, not back?
Thank you.
No, I'm just looking at the wrong tracer. My bad.
Back in the box.
Totally fine. You're using what's left of your clip on this Mercy. No, you're not. You reload before you use what's left of your clip on the Mercy. That's weird. And then you blink out here. No, 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 no. We can instead use what's left of our clip on the Mercy, close the angle for an instant if we have to. Then, once our second blink pops up, we blink past these guys, and we're shooting them in the back. And then we can still use a single blink to get out. That's more what we're interested in here. We can't stay back here for very long, but we can do, hey, I've set up crossfire. Hey, there's a hog plus my team in front of you plus me behind you. That gives her less good nade options. That makes them go, oh, if I'm looking here trying to actively dodge the hog, I'm not trying to actively dodge you. If I'm looking at you, it's easier for the hog to do work. This is a situation where you wait here for the second blink. You go behind them. You crush them. You can literally, you blink right behind them and you will be at like point blank range on them when you blink 180. Put a bunch of bullets right into their neck, finish with a melee, blink right out. Like, that's all you needed to do here. But that's okay. Yeah.
Looks like you need a timeout.
I am ready to activate the sound barrier. Let's group up here.
Thanks.
Don't peek early. It's unlikely that they're through yet. Your soldier might be baiting you by popping his ult into believing that they're deeper. Plus the round is ending. Fair enough. Okay, nice 100-0. Let's keep it going. Your tank partner's McCree, and you're running Hog Sigma. You're up on the tank. That quad blink isn't likely to be punished, but please start getting blinks back. Good. Totally fine for you to chase him out. Yeah, totally fine for you to chase him out.
Just like old times.
Retake your flank. She's gonna see you, so you're just gonna have to poke her from here. Go right back. Decent pivot. You used 2 blinks there, you only needed 1. You needed 1 because it was perfectly fine for you to stay in the fight for a moment to try to do this. You still have recall, you're distracting both DPS. 1 blink is going to lose them almost as good as 2 blinks are. 2 blinks is, yes, going to lose them a little harder, but you can use 1 blink to stay in this fight, keep doing work. 2 blinks is a get out thing, except you're not ready to stay out of this fight, as you've probably noticed. And now when you break now when you re-enter this, they're both going to be looking at the place that you peek from, and you're Tracer, so you're going to insta get deleted. So you effectively need to break this line of sight, this corner, with a blink, but you can't really until you have a second blink back. So you see how double blinking there, when you could have stayed in with the blink and still had a blink left and still had recall left, was going to muscle you out, more uptime, more value, etc. Because this is a tough situation that you're in now. You didn't. You tried to just force it, and you predictably took damage. Half your health worth of damage, just to put that in perspective. And then you immediately had to blink back. And now you're ignoring that fight. Okay. Nope. You can't just force that. You know that both DPS are there, and they're looking in this direction. You don't want to force the fight without opening it with a blink to change the distance at which you show up. You know, if you open it with a blink, you can change the distance at which you show up. You can show up at a slightly diagonal like this. You can do stuff like this where they have to do a flick, where you have more damage. Like, you can't just break this with your feet, and you're recognizing that, taking damage, and having to blink out. You don't have health to spare as Tracer. At least you traded. And we are going to call that a win. To be fair, that's a win. You traded while having distracted 2 DPS for a good 4 seconds there. I mean, to be fair, someone else did the overwhelming majority of the work on the Briggs, but hey.
The objective must be taken.
We can go back over it.
I'm staking my claim on the objective.
You went out further than you needed to. You could have just changed your direction and been more effective on him. Backing out like that made it harder for you to finish, but that's okay. You hit your reload, you'll have... No, you can't use your last blink to go in like this. You just accept, hey, I'm going to have to walk with my faster than normal movement speed as Tracer. Yes, Tracer and Genji both have faster than normal movement speed. You accept that you have to walk back in, and as you're doing that, you'll get a second blink, and you can use your second blink to dodge Roadhog looking at you, to do something, to dodge Anna looking at you, to try and hit a sleep dart, something like that. But now you're pulling attention when you don't have any blinks. That's not what we want to do. Okay. She's got 2 shots, you recall. You can melee, yep, good. Okay. Fine. You got that early.
This will heal you.
Good. Why didn't you use a blink here? You just charged 3 blinks back up. You had to go through your reload, and every blink is a juke. If you blink, you could end up over here. You could end up over here. You could end up over here. And you are going to adjust faster because you know which way you blinked to get back on her than she is on you. Now, you're blinking during a reload, so, you're not going to be able to shoot the instant, though they're pretty closely synced. But, like, each blink is a juke. She had, like, none of this damage on you before your clip was empty, so just blink as your juke. Like, once she's locked on you, you just go, no, I'm juking you, especially if you have 3 blinks. Okay, we'll go over it.
heal you.
Mm-hmm. Again, they're. You could have emptied the clip, meleeed, and then blinked, but like there should have been a blink here. There 100% should have been a blink here. Blink is cheaper than recall. Okay, you hear the hog to your right. You see the hog to your right. He's whole hogging, or he's breathing. Now he 100% can see you, and you know you just took damage. You should 100% blink through him. Why are you still walking? That was too slow. That was too slow to blink, and if you still felt you were in danger, you then could have used your third blink in here to grab the health pack. It's not perfect, but you could have done it. So your reactions were just too slow there. You had to understand what threats you were up against, when the hog could and couldn't shoot you, that there was a second threat in play that you took damage from that wasn't the hog, and where it was from so that you understood what blink cut that sight line.
I hope I didn't naff things up down here.
Just leave. No, just leave. You don't have a way to get up that flank anymore. You don't have enough blinks and the McCree sees you're here. You just have to retreat to the part of the map that your team controls, which is not very much right now. Yeah. Just leave. You don't have map control. You know they have a McCree. You know they have a McCree on that side of the map. You could try to force this, but honestly, as your team's coming back here, it wouldn't be a bad idea to switch sides and play the other side of the map. On the left side, I'm saying.
Attack the objective.
Why did we then use another blink? We just used 2 blinks in recall. Why did we then use another blink? Was someone actively looking right at you? Is that why you used a blink? Were you about to take damage? Okay, we have 3 blinks again. We're a functional hero. This is still playable. No longer playable. No longer playable. Lot of time circling a fight that is actively happening. This fight is actively happening. Okay, you better get the limb with how long you spent going for this circle. Your blink was early. She wasn't focused on you yet. Your first blink. Your second blink was okay. Fine. And you don't blink because you're too focused on the soldier, which I understand. It's hard to, it really is hard to actually be focused enough with how the human eye works to understand which of those are looking at you, etc. It was really just too hot. You had too many people looking at you, and this is why you want Tracer on the flank, while, you know, the rest of them are looking at other members of your team, etc. But that's fine.
Push off.
But really, your team was too wiped out. Like, you did get the Ana, and that's cool, but your team was effectively 2 down coming into this fight, and you spent you spent so long making your team fight a 5v6 there, because you went on such a long flank.
So, yeah, I keep myself busy.
You're entering this with only 1 blink. You're from very distance range tickling a McCree to alert him of your presence. Let's not do that. Yeah, so you don't want to alert a character that's perhaps not paying attention to you, that is perhaps, shooting at other things, to your presence when you're super far away from him. Even though you don't have most blanks, etc., you'd like to get closer to something you can do damage to, and then unload your clip into it if it is more dangerous than you at range, which in this case is most heroes of the game. Now, it's potentially okay to go, hey, I'm going to shoot you around a little, I'm going to farm a little pulse bomb charge right here, something like this, right here, something like this, if you're not willing to go in, if you're playing at the edge of the fight. But while this is sort of the edge of the fight, this is the edge of the fight from your side. When I talk about playing at the edges of the fight, I mean from here, from here, from here, edges of the fight that are not, the default main path that your team is coming from, because it helps turn them a little bit. You go, hey, pay a little bit of attention to me over here. If you're watching me over here, you're not seeing my team coming through here, type stuff.
No stopping me.
Okay. So we had the long flank, but that was a one-time thing. I think the bigger thing that we're seeing is you don't really have the greatest timing on understanding when the person is actually locked on you and when it's time to hit that blink. We're seeing some, I'm double blinking because I'm worried that they're going to hit me. And we see other times where you, just let the Moira lock on you and then press recall instead of blinking the moment that she's actually looking at you, aiming at you, etc. You blink when someone sees you and has decided that you're the threat and you think they're aiming at you, not, because you think, oh, hey, they're going to 180 and hit me.
1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
Mm-hmm.
Group up.
Okay. Yeah, you had to recall that. Ideally, you'd have just recalled, not blinked, then recalled, but that's okay. Yep, that's fine. Go in here, get your mega. You can use one blank. Yeah. Okay. You didn't blink after that first shot hit, and it's possible that you knew what her fire delay was after that first shot, and you were going to blink right as her fire delay ended before she could fire the second shot. If so, bravo. Excellently done. If not, if she's hit a shot on you, that probably means she has you locked and it's time to move with a blink.
This will heal you. No, you can do better than that.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, much better.
Yeah, okay.
Let's try that again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks, love.
You win these, it's fine. Mm-hmm.
Fire at will.
You can keep up. Good job. Don't want you on the same side as your team here. Even if you have to double blink to get to here, and then just do what we were talking about before, which is the little baby poking, etc., that's generally going to be preferable. Now, you have to know where the Briggs is. If the Briggs was where the McCree is, you wouldn't do that. But with the Briggs here, where you can't see her, you can potentially go, hey, I don't want to just shoot from the same direction as my team. I'd like to double blink to here and then be doing this, close the angle, and then I can fight a little more for real once I have my blink back, which will happen in just a moment. Mm-hmm.
This will restore you.
Poor guy.
Back in the spot.
Why would you waste pulse bomb? Why? He's AFK. Just take him. I mean, he's not actually AFK. He's just surrendering, but just take him.
Hello there.
Easy.
Now,
I'm okay with that. If you're going to challenge this, you need to challenge this by breaking it with a blink. You don't want a long-range poke fight with a McCree there.
Surrender to my will.
You have to blink immediately. The instant reaction to seeing a McCree in front of your face like that should be a blink. I don't care too much if your blink is immediately through him and you 180 and shoot at him, or if your blink is backwards at an angle, etc. But you can't just start shooting. Like, you have to blink immediately if a McCree just shows up in your face like this if you don't know their flashbang status. Which, you know, oh, is that the wrong McCree? Which, by the way, he will have, yes. So if you're not sure he spent flashbang, you have to move immediately when you see a McCree like this. Pretty fast, but not immediate. No, why would you wake him up like that? Your Ana has higher burst damage than you for waking him up, and also you should have been on a different side of him so that you guys had, you know, a bit of a concave surround, etc. on him, but whatever. Yeah, when you're behind them, it's easier. There's a Briggs in your face. Please move. Please blink to the left.
Ever get that feeling of deja vu?
You have 2 blinks and no recall. You can go in, but this soldier is who you're fighting, and you're not going to be able to stay here, so you're going to get to fire less than half your clip before you have to move. Hog showed up, that's fine. He missed his hook. It's unfortunate, your reactions just aren't good enough. He'd already missed his hook. Good. Fine.
Try that again.
Didn't have to recall there. A backwards blink was fine. And a backwards blink is cheaper than your recall.
Group up at my position. Rendezvous at my position. Group up at my position.
So she's locking you. She's locking you. She's sucking your soul out. If she ever hits that, you just go, hey, I blink over here and I start shooting at you. You don't let her suck your soul out like this. You don't have to. She's very not punishing for hitting you, so she's actually like a good character for going, oh, this is how long it takes someone to acquire a lock on me and start shooting, etc. So like she's a good character for learning, okay, this is how fast I have to react to, she's looking at me, let me blink, etc. But hey.
Group up with me. Group up with me. Group up at my position.
Gotcha.
Well, that just happened.
It's hand.
Group up.
Your team's not ready. This engagement timing is going to be a problem. No. No. You think you're going to get the Moira elimination into a Moira that, as far as you know, has Fade, next to a Briggs that has Bash and Armor Pack, while also next to a McCree that has Flashbang? Like, no. This is... Now, I know you can't see all of that, but you can see enough. You can see the Briggs and the Moira. That's enough to go, hey, my team definitely isn't here because none of their silhouettes are on my screen. This is not a thing that you push into. This is just going to force your blinks. You're risking getting yourself eliminated and staggered, and you're wasting your blinks, which means you potentially won't be as good a health or blink shape when your team is ready to push. Now you've spent recall. Now you have no blinks. Now you've spent your team's bubble. But this ball is trolling again, so you're not going to get punished. Unbelievable. And you've spent pulse bomb on a trolling ball again. Okay. Imagine if you still had that pulse bomb. Double blink through this and pulse bomb them from behind so that you don't get bashed. She might even have bubble for you. probably not back yet. Probably about a second out. But hey. Let's rewatch it.
Time out. I get that feeling of deja vu.
Fire!
Diagonal forward blink. This soldier's looking at you. Not back up in a straight line. Diagonal forward blink. Not double blink. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you took too much soldier damage from the soldier there before you hit that blink, but that's fine. And then you'd wasted a double blink early, so you were hesitant to use that blink to dodge.
Get into position. Repair the damage.
Let's try that again.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Okay, you've got one more shot at this. Hey, things are good. We're reviewing some Overwatch gameplay. Can't complain. Not quite as interesting as the last one we reviewed, a tank duo, but, you know, Tracer. Tracer's always fun. You didn't have to get hit by that pile drive at all. You can definitely blink out of that one. And now you blinked late, and are you going to recall, or are you just going to accept it and hope you get healed? You're going to just hope you get healed. Okay. Looks like some time left, which means you guys get another touch. Your Tracer, you can do some interesting things in junk time, so we'll watch it. You go for the Hog, who you can't get an limb on with this. I know it feels good because it's like, hey, this is the one I can probably hit. You don't, but that I get it. But remember, to actually win this, you need to force an elimination, and Hog, you're simply not going to eliminate that Hog with a Moira standing right there. Like, it's not going to happen. So you need to go, hey, let me force a bunch of ammo into Moira, make her fade, and then try to get the pulse bomb on her. The Hog's not going to work unless you've got other people shooting at him, a purple, a Discord, etc. It's not going to work with this many people on the point. You have to understand that that's not your chance back into the fight. Good. As soon as you start taking damage. Like, if you take damage, you basically have to blink. You just stayed too long there. In Soldier's line of sight. And that was the second life in a row that happened. You didn't have a ton of blinks either time, and I get it. The previous time, this time that's understandable because you were just trying to get back to point, etc. The previous time it's because you'd spent a double blink where you should have just used one. So you were then holding on to that last blink. So not bad. You're going to get some value out of really understanding, hey, it's when the enemy is looking at you, or if you miss the window, if you take any damage, it's generally going to be time to blink. You know, you have to know what it is. If it's like a Moira orb, okay, that's not any damage. But if you're taking any damage that had to be directionally aimed, you've already missed your window and it's more than time to blink. But when someone's sort of visually locked on you, that's when you hit your blink. And remember, blink is cheaper than recall. And they don't know where you're going to go. Even though you're like, oh, but blink goes a set distance. No, you could be going forward, so you're behind them. You could be going to the left. You could be going to the right. You could be going diagonally behind them, the other diagonally behind them. You could be going, you know, back like this, where it's not a big change, but they still have to move their crosshair. You could be going like this, and you get to adjust your aim faster because you know where you went before they did. So, like, use those. That is how Tracer compensates for her health pool. So you want to use those, but you don't need to be like, oh, I'm double blinking just to break someone's line of sight. Like, you could double blink behind cover if you're actually leaving a fight, but you're not double blinking as a dodge. You're single blinking as a dodge because we already listed, hey, there's 5 different ways you could go. Straight back is going to be rare. So there's 5 different ways that you could go, and they don't know what you go, so they reacquire you more slowly than you reacquire them. So you need to understand that if you're playing Tracer, the blink is a dodge, but also don't double blink for dodges, because I saw a couple of those and those are really expensive. Like, you don't need to double blink for a dodge. You might blink, start to shoot, and then have to blink again because they reacquire you really fast or something, but you shouldn't be doing, oh, I need to blink twice to lose this person. You're not actually planning to meaningfully lose them. You're planning to lose them for a moment while you get more of a lead on them with putting your own bullets into them, etc. Anyway, I hope that has helped. If anyone has questions, go ahead and throw them in chat now. If you guys have been enjoying the content, please do consider liking and subscribing. That helps me continue doing this, keep getting to do this. That's a lot of fun. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, and through there you can see what my rates are, you can see when I'm streaming. You can actually also participate in the current recruiter friend, where both you and the person you recruit, or if you're the person recruited, get 25% off on a lesson, and that can be cool too. Do I see any questions? I don't, so that's what I've got. Thanks guys, Temporal out.